Okay, so I was kind of fretting about some stuff. I just found out that the unemployment's going to run out the end of July. And I don't watch television. I haven't owned a television in over a decade, and I kind of pride myself in that. That said, I get my news secondhand. So I get it word of mouth usually, or if I'm on the internet and I'm checking out the news. But yeah. So, any case, I had just made a commitment for $100 a week for coaching, weekly coaching, and live webinars, and doing homework, and doing daily meditations, and having this regiment to be instilled into my character for a year. It's a 1-year commitment. And I just made this 1-year commitment literally 2 days after I found out. 2 days before I found out that my extra stimulus, which put me in the category of being in a position to afford $400 going out a month for this. And I'm like, okay. All this anxiety started building up inside of me because my history had been, okay, so disasters happened, lost a job, or, my son lost his job and everything was dependent on me. And then I lost my job and no one was working and didn't know where, the money was going to come, and thought, oh, well, I'll sit on faith. And, and then found myself at the very last moment having to rush myself into a frenzy to get my responsibilities taken care of. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, I haven't really delved into any of the courses because I've had a difficult time actually, after I closed the initial site, of being able to get back there. And a lot of it is also through Facebook, which I'm taking a hiatus from Facebook, right? And so I have to get back on there and all this. And I have sent them a message on Messenger to please contact me, because I really need to, things have obviously changed. Now there's a part of me that's like, okay, well, his guarantee is that you'll never, ever need another improvement, self-improvement, anything after this, ever. You won't need it because you're not broken. And, getting on, it's training. It's having someone that's going to be accountable. Keeps me on the accountability, learning new habits, learning new ways of thinking, having masterminds, being surrounded by a mindset of raising the bar, and learning how to actively stay in unison with higher thought and training. It's training, and I want it. I want it. And I'm going, God, I really, 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 really want this. And on top of what's going on in the world, it's no, I really, 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 really want this, and, my question is that, this little voice inside of me is saying, okay, well, you can have it if you believe it. And I'm like, oh. All right, well, here's the thing. This is exactly the thing that pops up in my head. Well, when I lost my job after my son had lost his job, and then we were, I was believing. But actually, if I observe that, it was not an active waiting. It was an anxious waiting. There's a difference. And, anxious is active. It's just in a very negative sense. And I was trying really hard, but I was fighting up against the emotional senses big time. And I really believe, and my my girlfriend Kayleen came over today, and she's a life coach. You know, she's sort of certified life coach, and she goes, and I don't charge my friends, so you're just getting the free service. And I'm like, it's cool. Bonus, God obviously knew I needed that. But the truth is that ultimately I find that we can be surrounded with an atmosphere that's constantly in alignment with where we're wanting to go, that's supporting that mindset. I'm talking about improvement. I am coachable. You know, and I am willing to do whatever it takes to be free forever again. Forever. I'm done. I'm done with all the other crap. I'm done with trying to struggle through it and knowing that I know I have the knowledge. Okay. And I get that I don't need to get fixed because there's plenty of people that have some character flaws that are rich, famous, you know, they have all the things in the world that the world has to offer, but they have some characters that are shady, you know. So it's not about being a good person that's going to give you those things. And it's not that money's evil in and of itself. It's a conduit. And it's just that the consistency and the support of that. There's a reason why millionaires raise more millionaires, because they were like raised on that diet, you know. They learned how to live in that environment. They say, the teachers say that if you hang out with millionaires, you're going to become a millionaire. You know, it's a mindset, but it's more than power. It's more than just like positive thinking. The positive thinking is the consistency side of it. Being positive that you're not going to quit. Being positive that it's possible and you're going to do it. You don't know how, but it doesn't matter, because even if you have to make that 1,000, are you willing to make the 1,000 mistakes? That's really the question. Are you willing to make 1,000 mistakes to get the answer that you seek? And that's knocking and the door opening. It's like sometimes you have to knock on that door until your like knuckles are bleeding. It's like, no, I really, 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 no, I really, 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 really want this. A lot, you know? And when you've gotten discouraged and you feel like you have have to start over again. And it's like, just how many times do you have to lose everything? How many times, you know, do I have to learn the lesson? How many times do I have to play that role? And I'm just over it. I am so over it that right now, it's like, no. It's like everything that's going on in the world. It's like, oh, well, guess what? So unemployment is not going to have that little stimulus anymore in about 6 weeks is when that's cutting out. So you better have a job, because no one can live off of $275 a week in America. So, you know, I'm going, okay, well, I guess, as they say, you can set up for failure, or you can set up to overcome it. And I set up for failure in the past. I want to set up for success this time around. And what I really would like to do, what I really am thinking of doing, because it's a leap of faith, but I still can do it, even though it does hurt me, you know, with building a nest egg in that sense. But it also puts me in a place where I can gain as much knowledge as I possibly can in the next 6 weeks if I dive into it. My life's going to shift if I apply myself to it. I believe it. It has to happen. There are miracles that happen all the time. And if I have a mastermind that is agreeing with me and holding me accountable, forcing me to step up, don't you think that the universe is going to step up for me? I have to believe that. I have to believe that because I have everything to lose and everything to gain by doing this. I have everything. I basically, if it doesn't come out, it could spell disaster. Now, that's a real thing. I'm not setting up to fail necessarily. I want to be responsible. I'm saving up money to push me through, and I have a tax return with the stimulus check due in that as well. So I do have a little padding, I think what it is that by getting the coaching that I'm seeking, this is going to help me to make wise decisions. You understand? Because my history, it wants to it doesn't know. It doesn't have the confidence to believe enough in order for that outcome to come through. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm at right now. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm taking this leap of faith. And, my last job, the unemployment and the stimulus of $600 a week, and the unemployment for $175, so $800 a week. That's more money that I don't know if I've ever made that. I probably did when I was a live-in caretaker. I did make really, really good money when I did that. But that was $15 an hour. That was a lot of money? I don't think so. So anyways, so I'm just, I'm not I'm not going back to the food industry. I'm not. I mean, there's that little tiny hint of oh, you would if you had. It's like, I am so not you know what I mean? It's like, I'm so ready to turn my back away from my old life. I refuse. I burn all bridges to my past. I will not go back to what was. I will not. That is an affirmation. That is my truth. That is my conviction. And I do believe that when we have a strong affirmative action that's going within our will, and we affirm that every day, looking in the mirror, looking into our own eyes, and speaking our truths, it changes something in us because we know it's true. That conviction, it's going to show its colors. So, and, I just feel like it's scary. It's, and then I hear those little things, if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough type of thing, it's like, yeah, that's what they were talking about. But still, let me just say, my past is still going up. Yeah, well, you remember what happened last time you thought that way. Well, last time I didn't have a life coach also to help guide me, and the support of a mastermind to help visualize with me. I have a lot more going for me actually than against me. I still have money to save, that I can save. I still have the means. There is one thing, isn't there always? I have a car that's been on its last leg for a while now. My mechanic finally told me, you need to get a new car ASAP. Okay? And I live on a hill. So, yeah. Whew. I said that I would document these. And so I'm documenting what's going on in my life. And I want to say that today is like the 27th. Is it the 27th or the 28th? I'm going to have to look at my calendar to make really sure. Today is Sunday, the 28th of June, 2020. Whew. Ready or not, here is the jumping board. This, that's something else, is that this is like leap of faith season. It's like I have let go of some major relationships this month. I have cut out my past. That's what I've done. Actually, I think that's really, really what this is all about. All things have become new. That's been an affirmation that I've been claiming for years. All things. He's made all things beautiful in his time. All things are possible to those who have faith, and I have faith. My actions show my faith. That's real big. You got to be like real about it when it comes to taking accountability as to being part of your faith, because faith without works is dead. And, as far as I can tell, being really aware child of God, recognizing, okay, I'm the offspring of omnipotence. I'm just like a dust speck in the grand omnipotent creator, and I'm going to say okay to that this life, that this planet, this realm that we live in teaches us that we can only use 10% of our brain, that we only use 10% of our brain. The rest of it is just like background noise. And we know that's crap. If we're spiritual, we know it's crap, because we know that's where the spirit, that's the kingdom of heaven right there. I'm getting preachy now, but so anyways, here we go. Ciao.